talk for a minute about energy suckers. Anybody here know what an energy sucker is? No, don't name names. We're just looking for a concept here. Energy suckers, of course, are the people that suck your energy. They drain you. They're the people that call you up and they want advice, or they want to complain, or they want to whine. By the way, they don't want to take your advice. They just want to get you talking. You know when they call you, in fact, because when you pick up the phone, your stomach kind of hurts. And you know that it's an energy sucker. I mean, let's be honest here at the end of this wonderful conference. How many of you occasionally call somebody just hoping they're not there? You don't want to talk to them. You just want credit for the call. You just want to leave a message and get credit for the call. And then don't you freak out if they answer? Oh, I thought you were at work. Of course, they're thinking, then what'd you call for? They're energy suckers. You don't want to be around them. You know when you're working with an energy sucker because you go on break with them and you come back tireder than before. Energy suckers. They drain your energy. Now, this is one of the few advantages I have found in getting older. You get a little bit older and you start thinking to yourself when you are around an energy sucker, gee, you know what? I don't know how much time I have left on this good earth, and I don't think I want to spend it with you. Because, you know, life is a lot like a toilet paper roll. The further you get, the faster it goes. And you reach a point where it's like, you know what? I don't want to be around energy suckers. I made a rule in the past couple years of my life. I want to be around kind, generous, and considerate people. That's pretty much it. And if they don't meet that criteria and they're mean and rude and, you know what? I don't have time for it anymore. I want to enjoy my life. I want to have fun. I don't want to be around the energy sucker. One time, I fell asleep on the plane at LaGuardia, even before we took off. Unbeknownst to me, we never did take off. We stayed on the tarmac. And then they decided the plane, for whatever reason, couldn't fly. They took us back to the gate and announced we were getting off. I got up to get off. I thought I was in Chicago. I'm like, this is strange. O'Hare looks so much like LaGuardia. But I knew I hadn't had a drink, so I couldn't figure out what was going on. But no, insomnia is a symptom of overload. And if you're like me, you fall asleep, but you wake up somewhere between 2 and 4 a.m. And then every worry, every thought, every problem in the world you have to solve before you can go back to sleep. Fortunately, that happens approximately 1.5 hours before you have to get up. And then you wake up and you're tireder than ever. That, ladies and gentlemen, is called nocturnal variation, and it's a symptom of overload. Very, very common symptom. What about physical symptoms? Headaches, backaches, neck aches, jaw aches. That happens all the time. A few years ago, we went to go pick up my son at college at Eau Claire. And if you're familiar with Wisconsin, from Milwaukee to Eau Claire is about 3.5 hours. And as we pulled out of Milwaukee, it started to snow. By the time we got to Madison, it was really coming down. And by the time we got up to Mauston, it was a blizzard. Now, those of you that are married know that driving in a blizzard with your spouse is not a marriage builder. I mean, we're arguing and cars are going off the road and things are really getting awful. We saw trucks jackknife, and all of a sudden we go past where a car had gone off the road and flipped 3 times and the headlights were shining through the snow. My husband said, we have to stop. There could be somebody in that car. We carefully made our way to the side of the road and pulled over. And he got out and ran back where the car was. The doors were blown off, the windshield was blown off, and he reached inside and took out a 19-year-old girl. Fortunately, the airbags had gone off, and she didn't seem to be badly hurt. He carefully helped her walk back to where we were parked, and I found myself saying a little prayer. Please, let her just be depressed. Because I've been in mental health my whole nursing career, and I don't know what else to do. Good news, she was depressed. And she wasn't hurt at all, because I'm thinking if I got to do anything more than put a Band-Aid on, I'm in trouble. But the reason I tell you this story is because when we finally got up to Eau Claire to pick up my son, my neck was so stiff I could hardly move my head. Because you see, during that whole trip and everything that happened, that stress was building up in my body. It's not necessarily something you can control. It takes a toll on your body, even if you believe you're managing it well. Stress is like that. We're always looking at the disease side of mental health. But in the past 10 years, there's been a movement called positive psychology. And in positive psychology, they start to look at, well, why are some people happy? What the heck is wrong with them? What are they doing? And what they found is two characteristics, the first of which is forgiveness. People that are very happy tend to forgive. They tend to let go. My friend Leslie Charles wrote a book, Why Is Everyone So Cranky? And in that book, she said, your heart can either contain love or anger. It can't contain both. So you have to decide which one serves you the best. When I talk about forgiveness, I'm not just talking about forgiving other people. Sometimes, and maybe even more importantly, it's forgiving ourselves. I don't know about you, but I get caught up in the shoulds. I should be a better wife. I should be a better mother. I should be a better daughter. Should. Sometimes I feel like saying, don't should on me. You know, I'm done. I can't do it. I think there's some real peace in life being able to say, you know what? Maybe I'm not perfect. I know I'm not perfect. But I did the best I could. And yeah, looking back from this age, I can see very clearly things I would have done differently. But when you're in the midst of it, it isn't so easy to see. So if you're one of those people that spend even a second a day beating yourself up about one issue or another, let it go. Let it go. And just accept you did the best you could and the people around you, for the most part, did too. Forgiveness. Let it go. The other habit of very happy people is gratitude. You know, we get caught up with all the things and possessions and McMansions, cars. You ever see that commercial where the woman walks out on Christmas and there's a new Lexus with a bow on it? I'd kill my husband. What'd you spend all that money for? Well, and part of the reason is I'm not a very good driver. Don't buy me a new car. I back into things all the time. And you know what? When I back into things, my husband says the stupidest thing. He always says the same thing. Didn't you see it? Of course I didn't see it, or I wouldn't have hit it. What a dumb thing to say. In fact, he feels so emphatically about my driving, he doesn't want me to use R. He says, just do the P, D, and N. You're very strong in those. Just stay away from R. Not your strong suit. We never buy new cars. We did once. We bought a new car, drove it 150 miles. Some guy runs the stop sign, hits the side of it, smashes it. Next time we got a new used car. I'm at a parking lot, some guy backs into me. Now I'm to the point, we buy a used car and I tell my husband, go out there with a sledgehammer and put a few dents in it, would you? Just saves me some time. We got a lot of advertising saying we need all this stuff. But in reality, did you know you all are in the upper 5% of income in the world? 95% of the people in the world live poorer than you. And when you look at that statistic, you start to think, you know what? I don't think I need more stuff. I mean, do we really need more stuff? Do you know the largest growing business in America is storage? Because now people have so much stuff, they got to get more places to put it. It's unbelievable. Do you ever watch those shows, by the way, the reality shows? You know, like the Storage Wars, or what's the other one where people are real slobby? Hoarders, yeah, I love hoarders. Don't you? I mean, I'm very clear why I watch Hoarders, because I look and I go, we're not that bad. Our basement may be a mess, but look at theirs. I'm at a point in my life where I'm actually getting rid of stuff. Some of you maybe have reached this, where you start purging. Because you realize, I mean, the more stuff you have, the more things you have to take care of. I really don't want anything. I'm getting rid of stuff. I've gotten rid of truckloads and truckloads of stuff. And I even put my husband's favorite chair out there, and he goes, what are you doing? I said, well, sit in it. They can take you too. Be grateful for what you have. The happiest people spend a little bit of time every day literally counting their blessings, counting what they're grateful for. Their health, their family, their friends, living in this wonderful country. So what that the government shut down. But we still have opportunities here other people don't have. Spend a few minutes every day just being grateful. It'll change how you look at the world. It'll change how you view things.